Hello everybody, Mike here. Um, so yeah, I wanted to do another update just because this is really important. Um, I didn't want to have this come as too much of a big surprise, so I just want to come out and say that by the end of this year, I'm gonna, well, I mean, not much of the year anyway. I'm gonna be retiring as M Crew dude, and I I'm gonna do one final review, and I might do a couple other like little things to touch up on some other things regarding like my characters and stuff. I want to talk about, like, as just me, I want to talk about my characters and stuff, and I want to do one other thing. So, I essentially want to be wrapping up the whole thing, like the YouTube channel, just because I had a lot of fun doing it, but the whole thing is, I'm going to be going back to college, and I really want to give it my best effort to try and do better, because I remember, like, in the past, I said that I had depression that was getting worse, and I wasn't really exaggerating. I mean, I really felt terrible, and it was getting really serious to a point where I was unable to really function in school, and I wasn't doing very well because of it. Um, and so, unfortunately, that's always been the case, is that I've been depressed, and it's really taken a negative impact on me. I mean, of course, when I'm acting as the M Crew dude, I don't really show that because I'm always lively, I have a lot of energy, but when it's just me, that's really been going down, and I mean, sometimes I just don't want to do anything, and I just sit to myself, and I really haven't been having a great time, and it's been a kind of an interesting year. I mean, a lot of great games have come out. I've done a lot of fun stuff, and of course, it's been a lot of weird things too, like some negative things too. Like, the one thing that really impacted me was, of course, the death of Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. I really wanted to do like like a video where of me talking about that, but I kind of scrapped it because I've never really been good at talking about stuff like that. Um, of course, I felt really bad about that, and I posted on my Facebook and stuff. Because of course Linkin Park was one of my favorite bands, and I really like admired them, because when I was depressed, I kind of connected with their music in a way, and in a kind of a strange way, Chester was almost like a hero to me. So yeah. So I mean, I went back to listening to a lot of the music, and I reconnected with it, and that's how I've always felt, is that the music could easily, help connect with me. I remember there was a quote I once heard not long ago. I think it was from The Walking Dead. I could be wrong. Where they said, "What is life if you have people who can't relate to you," or something like that. Without people to relate to, I mean. So I know it's not really a positive mindset, but it's like it definitely held true, and connected to me in a way. So I haven't been too down about this. I mean, of course I felt bad. I actually, let's see, Chester died on the 20th of July, and the 27th was actually when I was going to go to their concert in Mansfield. So it definitely came as a big shock, because on the 20th, I was up in Tingsboro, Massachusetts with my friend, and went to Bahama Breeze, because I like Bahama Breeze, and when I got home, my mom and dad were there, and they just told me that lead singer of Linkin Park committed suicide, and I was just really, like, I didn't know what to say. I was just so shocked, and to think that, I mean, I had a ticket for the concert and things, and like, it was just really surprising, and yeah, and I mean, I didn't really want to do anything when the 27th came, so, well, actually, the only thing I did do was, I had a couple of drinks, and I went to go see the godforsaken Emoji Movie, which is what I wanted to review on the show, which I did. And I wanted to do a little thing about Chester before I went to the video, but I, of course, didn't think it was appropriate for me to do that, so I kind of scrapped it anyway. In addition to that, I've been really trying to develop a much better mindset, which I feel like I have. Of course, there are some things that get in the way and I feel like hold me back, but I definitely want to improve myself. It's been a decent summer. I've done a lot of fun travels, but I feel like those kinds of things are fun while they last, but I can never really have any like lasting effects. I mean, first I went to Bar Harbor and then to Orlando. I mean, I had a lot of fun on those trips, but then it's like, none of it really lasted. So I feel like it wasn't until I really decided to go off and take some personal journeys to really understand. And I'm really glad I was finally able to, go off and do this and just, I mean, I can't really get into too much detail with the time I have. I'm going to work pretty soon, but I just wanted to say that it's like through these like experiences that I was able to do, I feel like I understand why I've been depressed. I feel like I do have the strength to continue. I mean, I know what I want, but I feel like I'm paralyzed. That's a Linkin Park quote, which is definitely how I've felt. I mean, I know what I want to do, but sometimes I feel like I can't always, go for it. And I'm really trying to work at changing that. There was a really, like, eye-opening moment that happened to me earlier in the year that I want to share with you, is that one time I went to McDonald's just to get something to eat, and I came across a homeless man. I saw this dude once before. He was outside of a Walmart begging for money, so I came across him at Walmart. I'm just going to say his name is Mel. And so I said hi to Mel, and he asked me for some money, and I just gave him like $5, and somebody else was buying him food. And then Mel asked me if I would give him a ride somewhere. And of course I wasn't comfortable with that. I felt really nervous because it's like I don't know this guy very well, but at the same time it was pouring rain outside, so what am I going to do, make him walk? So I eventually agreed to give him a ride, but of course I asked him to turn out his pockets, which he did with a bit of convincing, and he was okay. And there was another guy there. I'm going to say his name is let's just say Francis. Let's call him Francis. So he said, "Hey, this is a good guy. You're doing a good thing. If you come back, we can talk some more." So Mel and I got in my car and I drove him to the bus stop because that's where he was going. And along the way, he was telling me a story that this poor guy's been homeless for over a year. He grew up as an orphan, so he had a really hard life from the start. But at the same time, he's always had a good moral code. He never stole anything. He was always a good guy, and I really respected that, and it was definitely a good experience. So after I dropped him off, I went back to see what Francis had wanted, and so I went to, because Francis was working at the time, so I went to go see him, and he and I were talking for a bit, and he gave me like a DVD that he bought just, because he gives them out to his friends and stuff, and he was doing a nice thing for me. So so then Francis was just like saying that like not a lot of people would have done that, but he's happy that I had a good heart in doing that, and I just told him that, I mean, just things have been kind of rough with me, and he said I can agree, because he told me like some stories about a lot of like failed friendships and relationships he's had, and like this one girlfriend he had who was from another country only used him to get a green card and things like that, and I really sympathized with these people I met this day, and it was a really like eye-opening experience. So this whole thing, along with everything else I was able to do, definitely made me want to, try to change for the better. I really want to go back to college. I want to, accomplish my goals, and I just don't want to feel like I'm held back by anything now. And in terms of ending the show, I mean, I've been thinking about this since Easter. It hasn't been easy for me, and I eventually had to come to terms with it, just saying, well, this isn't something I can really do forever, because I have like other obligations in life, so unfortunately I'm going to have to put an end to this. I love doing it, no doubt about that, but at the same time it's like, if I'm going to do new things, I'm going to have to lay this to rest. And I'm very grateful for the 500 plus subscribers that I've gotten over the years, and I really love it, and I thank you guys for that. And I don't want this to be the end of my YouTube career at all. Sometime in the future, I might want to get back to doing something else on YouTube. I mean, I've been talking to some friends. Ian and I have been thinking about doing something together, because from what you've seen in our Heavenly Sword review, we work really well off each other, and I like Ian. He's a great friend, so I'm thinking we might do something like that. I have no idea what I'm going to do, and I'm trying to come up with more ideas and what I can base it off of, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I definitely am going to try to move on to some great things in the future, and I hope you guys really liked M Crew Dude, and my Christmas video is on the way, and like I said, I'll talk about a few other things, just me, and I want to do maybe one other video before I go back to school, because I don't know, I kind of consider like February, the start of February, to be like the next season, because February was when I first did the very first video I ever did was like my 2 cents on Sly Cooper, so that's kind of how I kind of start the whole thing off. So, yeah, thank you for listening to me, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from, and it's not because I don't like the show or I don't like anything. That's not the case. I love doing this, but at the same time, I feel like it's time that I should move on from it. Alright, thank you, and take care.